Hello and Assalamu alaikum. I'm Nazia Amir and going to discuss a new topic which is leadership and motivation. Leaders versus administrators. Not all leaders are administrators, nor are all administrators leaders. Leaders versus administrators. Administrators. Persons whose influence on others is limited to the appointed administrative authority of their positions. Administrators are appointed, they have legitimate power. Leaders. Persons with managerial and personal power who can influence others to problem actions beyond those that could be dictated by those persons' formal position authority alone. Leaders may either be appointed or emerge from within a group. Leaders versus administrators. Leaders mean soul, visionary, passionate, creative, flexible, inspiring, innovative, courageous, imaginative, personal power. An administrator, which is mind, rational, consulting, persistent, problem solving, analytical, structured, authoritative, position power. Power and leadership. Legitimate source of power. Position in the organization, reward, coerce or punish, expertise, reform and power, control over information or access to resources. Traits and skills differentiating leaders from non-leaders. Traits: adaptable to situations, alert to social environment, ambitious, achievement oriented, assertive, cooperative, decisive, dependable, dominant, energetic, persistent, self-confidence, tolerate of stress, willing to assume responsibility. And skills are clever, conceptually skilled, creative, diplomatic and tactful, fluent in speaking, knowledgeable about the work, organized, persuasive, socially skilled. The managerial grid. What is managerial grid? Appraises leadership styles using two dimensions: concern for people, concern for production. Places managerial styles in 5 categories: impoverished management, task management, middle of the road management, country club management, and team management. Concern for production. Low, high. Country club management, high is team management. Between low and high, middle of the road management. On the low side, impoverished management, and the high side, authority compliance management. Leadership behaviors or styles. We have two types of leadership behaviors: autocratic style of leadership, a leader who centralizes authority, dictates work methods, makes unilateral decisions, and limits employee participation. And then number 2 is democratic style of leadership, a leader who involves employees in decision making, delegates authority, encourages participation in deciding work methods and goals, and uses feedback to coach employees. A democratic consultative leader seeks input and hears the concern and issues of employees, but makes the final decision him or herself. A democratic participative leader often allows employees to have a say in what's decided. Continuum leadership: development team, customer support, steering team. Consult and sells most use styles. Most frequent style is tells, sometimes sells. Oscillates between the delegates and consult styles. Transactional versus transformational leadership behaviors. Transactional leadership behaviors. Leadership actions that focus on accomplishing the task at hand and on maintaining good working relationships by exchanging promises of rewards for performance. And number 2 is transformational leadership behaviors. Leadership actions that involve influencing major changes in the attitudes and assumptions of organization's members and building commitment for the organization's missions, objectives, and strategies. Situational leadership. What is situational leadership theory? Leaders should adjust their leadership styles, telling, selling, participating, and delegating, in accordance with the readiness of their followers. Acceptance. Leader effectiveness reflects the reality that it is the followers who accept or reject the leader. Readiness. A follower's ability and willingness to perform. At higher level of readiness, leaders respond by reducing control over and involvement with employees. Charismatic leadership. The other theory is charismatic leadership theory, which is followers make attributions of heroic or extraordinary leadership abilities when they observe certain behaviors. People working for charismatic leaders are motivated to exert work effort, and because they like and respect their leaders, express greater satisfaction. Charisma leadership appears to be most appropriate when the follower's task has an ideological component or when the environment involves a high degree of stress and uncertainty. How to improve your leadership skills? Skill 1. Think like a leader. Identify what is happening, explain why it is happening, decide what you are going to do about it. Skill 2. Use an appropriate leadership style. Leaders usually fit their style to the situation. Different leadership styles are appropriate to different situations. Skill number 3. Pick the right leadership situation. Gravitate toward leadership situations that fit your favorite leadership style. Skill number 4. Build your power base. Bolster your leadership potential by enhancing your authority. Skill number 5. Exercise better judgment. Decisiveness and good judgment, cognitive ability are important leadership traits. Skill number 6. Improve leadership traits and skills. Exhibit self-confidence, display honesty and integrity, increase your knowledge of the business. Coaching and counseling skills. What is coaching skills? A directive process conducted by an administrator to train and orient an employee to the realities of the workplace and to help the employee remove barriers to optimum work performance. Counseling. A supportive process conducted by an administrator to help an employee define and work through personal problems or organizational changes that affect job performance. When to coach? This is a very good question. Lack of ability, insufficient information, incompetence. Subordinate must understand the problem. When to counsel? Attitudes, personality clashes, defensiveness, other factors tied to emotions. I can help you recognize that a problem exists. Symptoms of problems, performance problems. Decreased productivity, poor quality work, missed deadlines, procrastinating on big tasks, doing small tasks first, avoiding contact with others on team, hence team avoids employee, disorganized, leaning on others for direction, absenteeism, lack of preparation for meetings and presentations. And the symptoms of performance problems, again, unable to focus on key tasks, increased complaining, interpersonal difficulties with customers, little or no initiative, blaming failures on others, defensiveness, irritability, complaining about the work, avoiding tougher jobs, upward delegation, away from desk for long periods, escalates minor upsets into major conflicts. Root cause of personal problems. Skill deficit means that they don't know how to do the job, and the second one is motivational deficit, means they don't want to do the job, and the third one is resource deficit, means that they may not have what they need to do the job. Opportunities for coaching: appearing unmotivated, excessive errors, missing deadlines, falling below standards, displaying need to fine-tune skills. Opportunities for counseling: emotional outburst, tardiness, erratic behavior. Applications: one-to-one development, team development, motivation, self-development. Why administrators avoid coaching? unable to take out the time, don't know how to give feedback and feel awkward, fear that the employee will get defensive and not accept help, not aware that coaching is required as it is felt that the employee should know about to do, wasn't coached him herself and hence feels there is no need for it. Manager feels intimidated by the employee's reaction. Too many employees to worry about. The benefits of coaching makes your job easier because employees have the right skills for the job, enables you to delegate responsibilities and empower your employees, builds your reputation as an administrator who drives for results and develops people, increases employees' commitment to results because they know what the performance expectations are and how to achieve them, develop collaboration between team members because they have to coach each other. The benefits of coaching increases employee motivation initiative because positive recognition feedback are given, helps improve the quality of your employees' work, helps avoid surprises and defensiveness during performance appraisals, helps increases creativity and innovation, increases team cohesion due to clarified goals and roles. 10 guidelines for conducting a successful coaching session. You put the employee at ease by being warm and friendly. You define the reason for the discussion. You describe the performance problem or area that needs improvement and define its impact on you, the employee, the unit, and the company. You acknowledge and listen to the employee's feelings. You seek the employee's opinion on ways to improve the performance. You ask open-ended questions to encourage the employee's analysis and draw out specific suggestions. You let the employee know that you respect his ability to solve problems and develop solutions. You offer suggestions when appropriate, then build on the employee's ideas when possible. You agree upon appropriate actions. You schedule a follow-up meeting to ensure accountability and provide feedback on progress. Counseling. 5D model. Develop relationship, define problem, determine goals, decide plan of action, do follow-up. Why administrators avoid counseling? Unable to take out the time, counseling is for psychologists and psychiatrists, fear that the employee won't listen to their advice, fear of giving the wrong advice and being blamed for it, lack of self-confidence and know-how, lack of faith in the employee, feeling of loss of control when an employee displays his or her feelings. The benefits of counseling improves productivity of your business because you foster open communication, increases retention because employees feel heard and problems get resolved constructively, helps alert you to problems or resistance that can occur following organizational changes, increases efficiency of your business because you understand the motives and needs of each employee and how he will react to organizational event, reduces conflict and preserves teamwork. Helps you anticipate and prevent problems before they occur, improves your decision making because everyone's ideas are heard and employees' strengths and abilities are utilized, improves your career opportunities because you will be known as an administrator who can motivate employees and build constructive working relationship with bosses and peers, increases your confidence level and personal satisfaction in your job, improves your awareness of others when you learn to really listen to understand. 10 guidelines for conducting a successful counseling session. You put the employee at ease by being warm and friendly. You use open body language and eye contact and physically face the person. You define the reason for the discussion or the performance issue that needs to be addressed if you call the session, or encourage the employee to define its purpose if he or she requests the session. You ask open-ended questions about the employee's feelings and thoughts. You encourage the employee to identify alternatives to solve the problem or resolve the issue. You seek the employee's feelings about the possible consequences of each of the alternatives. You avoid expressing your view but remain alert to instances when you can provide information on company policies that may help the employee make a decision. You demonstrate empathy for the employee and show confidence in his ability to solve problems. You provide support and or resources when appropriate. You refer the employee to human resources and or an employee assistance program if the problem is beyond your scope. You summarize key points at the end of the discussion to clarify and seek understanding. Types of feedback: silence, No news is not good news. Criticism, which is negative. Catch them doing something wrong. Advice, giving suggestions. Reinforcement, which is positive. Catch them doing something right. Behavioral guidelines. Differentiate between coaching situations and counseling situations. Use problem-oriented statements rather than person-oriented statements. Communicate congruently by acknowledging your true feelings without acting them out in destructive ways. Supportive communication. Own your statements. Demonstrate supportive listening. Implement a personal management interview program. Here I am going to end my video. If you like my video, do not forget to subscribe my channel and press the bell icon so you get notified when I post new content. Thank you.